All right, hello. Welcome to the July 13, 2026, Monday, New York AM session, Silver Bullet 10 to 11. That's what's on the table for today. That's my first session. And this week, that's pretty much the first time I'm taking a glance over the charts too. So I'll be trying to figure out what's going on today in the markets, in the marketplace altogether. So let's start the business with NQ daily chart. Clearly, daily is inside of this larger range, larger consolidation, and it's not that obvious to tell based on the daily chart where the price is likely going to next. Small little inefficiency in here with the volume imbalance down there. We trade down into it and we have relative equal highs that are pretty smooth in this area also. Looking at it from the perspective of an hourly chart, we can see we are inside of this larger range, larger consolidation, and we are around the equilibrium of that larger range too, which isn't the easiest one to get a feel for, but let's see. What's the current range for Nasdaq's trading? It's this low to this high. This is the range that we are dealing inside of right now. We went pretty high inside of this range, almost clearing out the high, but it failed. It failed to do so. New week opening up lower, and then a measure of distribution. Return back to this week, which was used as a discount array here, but now we went below it again and it acts as a premium array. So that's definitely interesting in that regard. Offered a nice run on the sell side liquidity here. And to be honest, to be quite frankly honest, what I like still on the downside are those relative lows here. This looks kind of too smooth. In a sense. So out right away, my attention is more focused on that and the inefficiency that's right to the left of it. So this imbalance from here to here, this seems pretty reasonable as a potential draw on the downside, while this SIB here was used as a discount here, yes, as a discount a little bit here, yes, but now as we will pierce through it, I would like to see it act as a resistance again and send us towards the sell side. So that's somewhat of an idea for the initial price run, I suppose. Yeah, what do we have on the upside though? We definitely have this new week opening up. That will be a factor nonetheless. Eventually, I think, at least. So I want to have this one annotated. All right, so new week opening up low and the new week opening up high. There we go. Traded up into it here during Asia. Ever since repaired lower, couldn't find a ground to reach up into it. Relative equal highs left there too. So I wouldn't mind to reach a little bit of a discount inside of this range. So these relative equal lows, maybe this inefficiency here. I would generally like that, like to see that for today, but yeah, we'll see. I should have make a squeaky pick on the calendar. So let me do this quickly now. So Monday is no news. All right, very good information. But Tuesday is CPI, big, and Fed Chairman Walsh testifying. So Tuesday is completely a huge day in terms of the news. So, I mean, I suspect the biggest run being reserved for this. So this already sets my expectations for today. Wednesday PPI also, that will be kind of like a follow-up to the Tuesday heaviness in terms of news, and then Thursday, Friday rather light in the delivery. So I suppose fair enough. Anticipating a lot of manipulation this week though, with this type of calendar, especially in the beginning of this week. So we'll see what we get. But yeah, nonetheless, I think I don't want to go to the lower time frames as it is right now. And let's just go straight up to the ES, and let's see what's there. What's actually there? All right, so ES is hanging clearly stronger in comparison to Nasdaq. It's making higher highs, failing to make lower lows. It's clearly stronger, clearly being held as the relative stronger one. Kind of like it kind of looks like it's done by force, but that's a little bit of a decoupling, between averages, and that's on a higher time frame, like even a daily, which right away is a little bit suspect. So yeah, any trading that would be done or should be done, this is not the environment for holding for full targets and for hoping for like super precise exits and stuff like that. This is, I believe, not the environment for that. But let's see. Yeah, ES looks kind of ugly to me. Like right away, ES looks kind of ugly to me. I'm not like I'm really not a fan of what I see. All right. We had small little volume balance there. We've taken this bias liquidity here nicely, a little bit of a retracement. Still inside this larger range. Here, big premium currently. So I would say if ES will or should give way a little bit of its pseudo strength, I would say, then attacking this low here for sales liquidity would have been like an idea that I could consider maybe for ES. But again, let's see. I'm not a huge fan of buying this market particularly, but what can I do? Alright, so annotating the new week opening up for ES. I'll add the consecutive encroachment. There we go. There we go. We tapped into it once here. By the way, the opening range gap. We opened with a discount relative to the close here. Consecutive encroachment was technically reached already. All right, so let's see now and compare both averages. So we have Nasdaq making a lower low here, and we have ES making a higher high here. Yeah, pretty much decoupled markets so far. ES doing higher, Nasdaq doing lower. That's already a sign to be rather careful, right? I would say. So I would honestly prefer to see those go or start going in sync with each other, with one another. But yeah, so far Nasdaq is taking a little bit of a pullback here, but still I'm not quite convinced about what it wants to do. ES is clearly retracing to a new week opening up here. That's technically premium inside of this range, and it has a lot of sell side liquidity below this low. That's a single, like a hammer pattern based on the candlesticks. Anyone who bought suffered this retracement. Now it's really looking like it's really going. I know I'm not a huge fan of today's playground. But yeah, even looking based on the 1 minute chart with the things that I already outlined, I really like this sell-side liquidity pool here for ES. That's the sell-side liquidity from the pre-market. We are basically in a premium. We're trading into a premium array in form of a new week opening up. We're taking buy side here, while we have, yeah, I mean these are decoupled markets, so it's not that easy to call. Like, I mean, it's not like it's SMT is decoupled, but yeah, the highs are clearly not matching. So I'm not really trusting into this rally, but I would be more inclined to look and target for the sell side. So that's kind of like what my, or how my game plan looks like. I think Nasdaq has still lower potential, and if that's the case, I think ES has a reasonable bet to make an attempt to run those certificate lows here, at least. Anything beyond that, we'll see. So buy side taken here on the short term. All right. Only with a week rejected, and we are now trading around this inversion for value gap. So let me see if I can finesse anything around that. Anything around that. All right. It's running away a little bit. Oh, shibal. All right. So no less. That's fine. I suppose that's fine. Let's see if I will get any return to that or not. We have a second and third one here. Well, that went a little bit too fast. But that's fine. I mean, I'm still a little bit curious whether we will make this one higher high or some higher highs here slightly to, you know, make this potentially happening. I'm still like, you know, I like the idea. I like everything about this, but yeah, decoupled markets can be tricky markets for sure. Uh, 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 uh. Well, so I mean, it left a little bit of a sieve here. A little bit of a sieve here. Question would be whether we could see a return back into it. That looks like might not be in the cards here. Looks like this week could act as a premium area here too, and send it lower. Let's see. Let's see if I can get any return or anything like that. Don't necessarily want to be in a rush to do anything. Yeah, I mean, that was my initial idea here, to position myself around that. And yeah, I mean, if I was maybe slightly faster, then it would be a lovely situation to be in already. I would be very, 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 very content with that. Right now, I'm fishing for a potential retracement. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, as long as this stays in play, that could be or could act as a potential draw. But yeah, this session is not the session that I want to be like trying too hard either. So yeah, I think I wait. Let's watch the price. So we swept the initial high here. The bodies couldn't even close above consecutive encroachment, and this rejection here, obvious sell liquidity resting down there. Like a very, very, very easy draw on liquidity for the morning session here. Silver bullet. And there I almost got it there. Almost got it there, like a second or two too late with my order management. But yeah, let's see how the session will develop overall. Sell liquidity here, definitely a banger of a sell side. This is the sell side from the loan open. Yeah, I mean, that might be a little bit too much, but this one here seems really interesting in terms of delivering that. We'll see whether we will get another leg of potential manipulation here or straight shot. So far we took buy side. We came down for the sell side, relatively close, took that. Then took buy side again, deep retracement into this low here, not taken out yet though. And now we are hanging around, trying to make another like a pop higher. But in my opinion, right now, all of the liquidity, maybe not all of it, but a very large pool of liquidity is going to be resting below these lows here. And that's kind of what I would like to see being attacked. But yeah, it's still kind of early into the session, so no stress. We see a measure of retracement tapping into this week. I will be still watching the inversion for value gap and those two CBs as a potential retracement, because yeah, this leg was pretty much a nice displacement to the downside. All of this here in regards to this high to low is technically discount. So some premium inside of this range here would be anything above this order block, which isn't necessarily an order block. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of a concern is that Nasdaq left those equal highs here. It maybe could be reaching towards that. That's a little bit too smooth, but yeah, I'm kind of willing to stick to my initial idea, I suppose. All right, all right, all right. Let's see. We are approaching a deeper retracement here. We are tapping into this little fair value gap there. This inversion is in crosshairs too. Sell side liquidity will be resting below this low and these lows. I'm kind of waiting to see a first reaction off of this inversion and whether we can even touch up into it, right? That's kind of what I'm watching. All right, so it looks like we touched the low of it here slightly, like with a wick, and stopped at the low. No further engagement was allowed yet. I'm still watching. I'm still trying to be cautious. And not necessarily being in any rush to get involved, because yeah, even using this, my stop loss above this high here, inside of a market that was generally stronger. All right, never mind. It died right away. All right. So I mean, beautiful run here, beautiful spike lower here, off of that inversion low. Way quicker, way faster, way more aggressive than I would expect or anticipate. Nasdaq smashed that low too. But yeah, all right. So let's take this order out, and let's see. But yeah, it smashed. Wow, it smashed like crazy. All the sell side here cleared, and yeah, the final portion left below this low, I assume. But that would be like a wild card, which yeah could be attacked. But with the decoupled markets, yeah, I wouldn't bet my hand on it. But nonetheless, yeah, this delivered here. Interesting. I was waiting to the last second, hesitating, kinda thinking that all right, I could like give away the best entry at this inversion, but if it will be rolling over lower below this week, then I can always enter as it's going lower here. in this area if it turns around, just in case. But it smashed that in one candle or so, like crazy. So yeah. Mm, so yeah, I mean, this right away looks to me like an opportunity that was there that I missed. So I was looking for it, but I just missed the entry. I didn't got it. It moved twice, too quick here. Then I mean, I had my limit order at the low, but I think I wouldn't get filled anyway because it literally touched this low very, very slightly, didn't print even one tick above it, which would definitely then allow me a fill. And it just smashed right on through it. So it is what it is, I guess. That's definitely like a missed opportunity at this moment, and I don't think I want to chase or do anything else with this one particularly here after what it did. It looks kinda off-ruly nonetheless. So as for the coupled markets, this type of run on the sell side here was, yeah, pretty interesting. But right now, I would be more interested with Nasdaq after making another lower low here. It left some clean buy side here and here. Maybe that could offer some ideas to clear that liquidity. Yeah. This is also the first presented fair value gap here, I believe. Exactly, that's the 930, that's 933, volume imbalance on both ends, so that's a suspension block. That's the first presentation, and it was a SIBI retest here once, relative equal highs, buy sell liquidity here, and sell sell liquidity was taken out once there into a discount of the current range. Sell side taken here. I mean, out favor Nasdaq making a run into this first presentation now. So that would be like a setup or idea that out. Oh shit! Look at this moment. But how would I approach that? How would I approach that? Well, I mean, it doesn't seem very obvious and or easy in terms of like finding a very nice entry, I suppose. Obviously, if it closes above it, then sure, that should act as inversion. So any returns should be viable to run the bicep, but I feel like it will just smash it right on through. So they are doing damage everywhere. Damage on the downside on ES, now damage on the upside on NQ. Pretty interesting. Well, I mean, okay, never mind. I wanted to see. I wanted to say that let's see if we can fall short of this high in this first presentation and give a return down into this potential inversion here. But it wasn't the case. We still have a bicep that's pretty smooth up here. I like that bicep overall. We had a discount opening range gap, so it's quite reasonable to say that this bicep here makes a lot of sense. So this could or should still be a reasonable inversion fair value gap for the price, if targeting for the bicep here as the best case type of scenario. So I would definitely consider that idea. But yeah, let's see. ES is going also higher for the bicep here. So any return down into this would be a potential inversion to send it higher, or at least make like a try. Yeah, I mean, pretty interesting situation. Two trade ideas kinda went without me, kinda slipped away from my hands. Uh, both like little scalps, I would say, but nonetheless, for the current environment, it's hard to find anything else than that. Mm, let's see. I mean, I will watch the price for a couple more minutes, I suppose. Uh, we'll see what we get. If we get any reasonable idea. I do favor the buy set here for NQ, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I could say maybe the pre-market buy set is also like the best case, or the highest order that you would go for. And I would agree. I would definitely agree. So no return into this as inversion at all, leaving this base open also. Couldn't trade down into it. Now trading deeper into the first presentation. Last, if it's that strong here near term, it doesn't even offer retracements. Using the first presentation as an inversion, that would be like the last type of idea that I would have for this morning session, probably. So yeah, if we can close above the first presentation here and any return, I would like to go long and attack the buy side here and the pre-market buy side up there. And that would be like the idea. While I wouldn't like to return to those inefficiencies here, leaving those open ideally, and that would be interesting. We went above it here, yes, but we failed to close. So that's interesting in itself. But yeah, again, if it doesn't offer me exactly what I want, then I'll be fine to pass on this session here. Even though I saw cute little runs here and there, these aren't easy market conditions, and I know if I try too hard, I will eventually get it wrong. So yeah. All right, so it's kind of like if we can close above this one, then I kind of want to still refer to this lower one here. And if you got a return down into it, that could have been a point of interest for me to go long. If we go above this on a closing basis, then I would consider that first presentation as a bullish inversion. But yeah, that would have been kind of too tight to the buy side in a sense. I'm not that super hyped for that amount of range, I suppose. Interesting how the first presentation is respected in the upper half now, and it's refusing to go in the lower half. All right, so this looks like a potential for a retracement here, right? And this 10-16 inversion for value gap would be the go-to idea, I would say, to see a retracement too. Welcome, Jay. Nice to see you, man. All right, so it looks like we are setting this retracement. So I'll be using this 1 minute inversion there, if I can get it, obviously. And I'll be aiming for the relative equal highs buy side, assuming that the damage was done on the downside, assuming that the mark right now would be the buy side, and that's kind of where the liquidity is. And I see this little turnaround here that could end up as a retracement, as a bait, and that price should eventually reach up and run all the relative equal highs. That's kind of what I'm thinking. We'll see. So nonetheless, we left the first printed fair value gap just by a little bit to the downside. We are quite close to that previous inversion fair value gap that I would like to see a return to. Why? Because technically price went above it. Yes, it was a SIBI. Price went above it nicely and never really came back. It never really gave a touch to it. Just kept on running, kept on running. That's fine. It didn't quite reach the buy side here, so that's completely fine. So any retracement down into this area here now would be interesting for me to see a delivery higher. Yes, I mean the 250 is my max risk for the account here right now, and that's my max leverage. After a loss, I cut leverage to max 125, and I can't risk more than that. And that's kind of it. Sometimes when the market conditions are also like poorer, more low probability or very, very hard, but I still have like a setup or my model presents itself and I want to take it, then I rather take a lower risk, lower leverage than my full risk, right? And that's kind of like what we see here today, I suppose. Well, all right, so it's drawing towards this inversion here. I hope I don't make a blunder, which in these conditions wouldn't be too hard, I believe, but nonetheless, I mean, I trust this idea here, kinda, so it kind of makes sense, I would say. All right, looks like I'm getting the return into the 1016 inversion fair value gap, or it's very close to give me that at least. It's overlapping with a bullish breaker technically too, a busy also, and we have very smooth relative equal highs above us from the pre-market and pre 930 straight away. I mean the 930 liquidity, I mean it's also there, which is pretty smooth too. And we had quite a discount opening range gap. Yeah, I mean it makes a lot of sense to me to see it deliver off of that inversion fair value gap here. Let's see if I will get it, and let's see if it will deliver. But that's pretty much something out like to potentially get involved in and see that potentially deliver. 1043, and we are in, or I'm in rather, off of that high of the bullish inversion fair value gap here. Best case scenario, buy side up there. Stop loss to break even, buy side. and stop loss trailing here. So yeah, because I have only one contract, I cannot afford any partials with this idea. That means I will have to manage my position with the stop loss more than anything else. And now let's see, I'm in nonetheless, and now I can only be managing the position, whether it's still valid in my opinion or not, or does it breach key areas that I would rather not like to see being breached or stuff like that. We'll see how it goes. Nonetheless, key discount array, in my opinion, huge stack of buy side liquidity left after a discount opening range gap, after lows being made jagged already. Yeah, seems like a loaded deal, but you never know. You'll never know. And yeah, there were some shenanigans between the indices, right? They are decoupled in a sense, so that's like something that I don't want to overstay my welcome. So if I would be able to secure anything out of this idea, then I'll be glad to do so. Yeah, I mean, for completeness sake, my stop loss is slightly below this consecutive encroachment of this week. Let's see. So far, we are diving down into the consecutive encroachment. Acceptable, I would say. Tapping into the lower half, and that's where I want to see a little bit of reaction. That's where I want to see a little bit of the magic happening. So I don't want to see price have easy time going into the lower half. I want to see it being rejected. The quicker, the better. IMO. So let's see. I like this initial reaction off of that inversion. That's good. That's good, but disrespecting the upper half. Relative equal highs buy side. So the next step, it would be like to quickly go above this this first presentation, because that's pretty much the first presented fair value gap for today. All right, so we are approaching the first presentation here almost. And I would really love to see it just smashed right on through it. like it's not even there, and then see it act as a measure of support. That would be the best case. And then I'm very confident that this trade is a banger. Potentially, obviously. But that's kind of like the idea behind it though. Yeah, ES is playing around too. But Nasdaq has all the buy side up here. So that's where the majority of the interest should or would reside to get that buy side cleared. Very smooth levels also. And we'll be entering the 1050 to 1110 macro also in a couple seconds. So that'll be welcome to see the price speed up a little bit. I like this so far. Now I would preferably see a close above the first presentation, close above it, and then use this one as the inversion. So after we could see a close above the first presentation, I would not want to see a return to this inversion here. I already right now I don't think it's necessary to return down into here, right? But after we would close above this one, then I'm completely not willing to see any return down there. So let's see. Yo, wet, welcome. Hi. Yeah, I mean, so far so good, I would say. Please don't jinx it. Because yeah, the moment you say it looks really good, then that's the moment the price will turn around against me. Obviously, I'm kidding, but yeah. Still waiting for that push through that first presentation. That's what I want to see. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, how I want to manage this position here right now is assuming that if we could get and reach this buy side liquidity here, those are typical highs. If we can get up there, then I want to aggressively trail my stop, like not only secure the break even, but also like secure some profits then, and then just let it go whether it can push stronger or not. That would remain to be seen, but that's how I would like to manage the position there. I'm not a huge fan of this turnaround here off of the consecutive encroachment of the first presentation. That doesn't sound very good to me, but let's say, I mean, let's see. As long as we are not necessarily closing in the lower half and or below it, I'm trusting that this is where it's going, and I'm trusting that it will deliver. That's pretty much all I can do. I'm trusting that that my idea is correct. But at the same time, if I'm proven wrong, then yeah, I mean that's fine too. No biggie. But just in the terms of like how I would like to see it deliver, I would rather not see this type of signature here where it stops at the consecutive encroachment and runs down like this. I'm not a huge fan of it, but as I said, I would permit that return to this inversion for value gap as long as we don't close above the first presentation and price failed to close above it here, right? So a return to it was not ideal, but permissible for sure, I would say. So far we can't necessarily even touch the high of that inversion, which might be a good sign, but we would need to rally away first. Let's see. Otherwise anything in the upper half would be where I want to see discount sensitivity. And then quickly repel above the first presentation, right? That would be the idea. So yeah, let's see. Now my boy Yoet can write that this isn't looking that good anymore, and that will boost my confidence. And the probabilities of seeing this deliver will increase significantly. But yeah, that's obviously the mambo jumbo. But let the market do its thing, and that's it. That's it. So far we touched the high of this inversion, and the bodies couldn't even close inside of it. That's a good signature. I like to see that. Let's see if we can manage to pull off a little bit of displacement higher. That would be welcome. We are still inside of the macro, right? So that's when we would expect the price to perform specific way. And yeah, so far it's still very, very reasonable to expect the buy side. Let's see if we can stay this way. Okay, fair enough. Knock knock. Well. I would really like to see this pierce through that first presentation here and close above it. That's pretty much the signature that I'm looking for right now. And then I feel like we have the green light to see higher prices deliver without much resistance, I would say. So it's 10:58 on the clock. So still a little bit of time to go to see this unfold. All right, still fighting with the consecutive encroachment. Let's see. I would love to see it give way here and climb above it. The buy side is really in a striking distance too at any time right now. So yeah, I mean, at this point, I would not like to see more returns into this inversion for value gap here. I would prefer to leave it as it is. Any more returns are pretty suspect. So yeah, all right, that's good. That displacement here, that's very good. If you can close above it, any returns should act as support, and we should see a run on the buy side here. All right. Come on, come on. So now I can definitely move my stop loss to even for now, because we trade above this on a closing basis. But we have yet to reach into the buy side liquidity, so I'm waiting for that. And after we do that, I will be trimming the stop a little bit more aggressively, I think. Or I will just take off the position above the buy side and don't necessarily hold for the best case scenario here. So both scenarios are pretty solid, I would say. And both are manageable. So let's see. Let's see. So this is the event horizon here. So getting closer to that, I would love to be taking my exit there. So I'm still waiting for a little bit of follow through. If I can get that, then I'm content, I feel like. Yeah, I mean, nonetheless, the position is secured at even. I'm still looking forward to see a little bit of a follow through. I hope I'm not too ambitious with that, but yeah, I mean, it feels reasonable to expect that. I feel like. So yeah, any return down into this first presentation is acceptable, but it should act as a support for the price. So let's bring the stop loss a little bit higher here, allow for this measure of retracement, and after we could, or if we could make the second attempt of running higher, then I'll be aggressively moving my stop loss below the lowest area before the run on the buy side. So that's kind of like the idea. Yeah, if I had two contracts on, I would love to be taking a partial here, nonetheless. I have one, so I'm trying to manage it with the stop loss a little bit more and give it a little bit more room still. But again, as I said, I'm anticipating or I'm allowing for that return to the first presentation, but I'm expecting it to act as support and still provide a little bit of continuation, at least a deeper run on the buy side here, because this was very shallow, and potentially still reaching for the buy side up there, which is still incredibly smooth, right? So it could definitely go there. All right, so far it's looking a little bit whack, a little bit shishy. So yeah, that's not the end of the world as long as the key arrays are being respected. And we are just approaching the return into the first presentation here. So we touch the high of that there. And I would like to see the upper half being respected nicely. Okay. So because that run was very shallow, I assume that a deeper run would be reasonable off of this array of choice. So I don't want to see price go below it. If it does, I'm out. Any run off of this, I'm aggressively securing anything I can get out of it. Maybe that's too ambitious. Maybe that's too greedy on my side. Maybe I could have or should have be taking this off here or here right now even. But that's kind of like the plan or idea that I want to implement. Nonetheless, we went below this 11 o'clock fair value gap, which was a bullish fair value gap, last one before running the buy side. So as we will trade up into it, I don't want to see it act as inversion, okay? So right now we are trading into it. I don't want to see any resistance. I just want to smash right on through it. All right, that's very important. If it will show me premium sensitivity here, if it will be rejecting that to the downside aggressively and strongly, or you know, I'll be considering closing this right away. But this should not act as inversion here. Return into the first presentation, that's good. Couldn't reach the consecutive encroachment, that's good. Now trying to trade a little bit higher here into this fair value gap that should or could potentially act as inversion. And we see initial rejection here. I don't like to see that. So this for me is a red flag right away. And I really don't like to see that. But I give it one more chance. Because this first presentation is still pretty much in play too. But yeah, that's not what I want to see. So yeah, I mean, now I'm thinking whether I wasn't over ambitious with this, because that was a pretty decent price run nonetheless on the buy side here. The best case scenario obviously is best case scenario, but already this isn't environment for the best case scenarios to be very easily obtained. But I truly assume that this type of retracement here into this first presentation after a shallow run on the buy side with a week like this is quite reasonable to expect. And a measure of continuation of that would be, in my opinion, quite possible to obtain. But obviously that will remain to be seen. And yeah, I'm not a fan of this reaction here and deeper run into the first presentation. Not a huge fan of that, but I trust still that we can manage to turn around here. But at the same time, I admittedly inside of me feel that I missed my opportunity to scale off a little bit. Yes, I've chosen this path of doing so, so I will stick to it to manage the position with the stop loss rather than just taking it off here. But yeah, it's not a pleasant retracement to be in, especially taking into consideration the conditions that we are in also. So yeah, I mean, let's see. Let's not overthink it, right? But it's turning into a deeper retracement than I would like to see. Which, yeah. What's up? Hello, Mr. On the face of the place. Well, what a name, bro. What a cool ass nickname. Yeah, the body is respecting the consecutive encroachment. I like that. I like that. The weak's only allowed to do the damage inside the lower half. That's good. So if you can turn around here, that's my last chance to get out. I like that. That's good. And any return to this 11 o'clock inversion here, this needs to be completely destroyed to the upside. Any resistance here, I will need to get out. I will need to. Because then I'm really risking to get caught inside a very sloppy conditions, which I admittedly don't want to be caught inside of a sloppy day like today. But yeah, let's see. So far we went very close to it. Not I mean, we couldn't even touch into it. So I would still want to see it try to do that at least. Because if it even can't go touch this, then that's even worse. Or rather, I should say that's even likelier that I will get stopped out. But yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I just feel that the conditions that we are in right now for this session are not really permitting me the precision that I would like for my exit, which makes me a little bit uncomfortable with my position here. In terms of like, I could have taken out a nice win, but looks like I can easily give away a majority of that due to the conditions that we are in. And yeah, that's never a fun thing to do, right? But yeah, it's still better than a loss, right? So yeah. I guess let's take it with a deal of self distance and a smile Yeah, that's what I need. A little bit of a smile. Thanks, man. I really needed that smile. Damn. Yeah, I mean, my stop loss is in crosshairs. Any moho below this first presentation, that's already problematic here. That's already problematic here, and I'm likely to get stopped out. I'm aware of that. I will not change the order here. I will just leave it as it is, and if a stop loss is due, then I will just take it, and I will smile at myself. It touched the low, so that's probably like the last chance to see like a reaction off of that. Last chance. Yeah, I mean that was the beginning of the trouble here. Uh, I could have closed that there, true, but I decided to give it another chance. Then it even failed, so that was even worse. And that happened to be a deeper retracement than I would like to see. We wicked below the first presentation, very close to my stop loss here. Could get stopped out any point, anytime. And yeah, we even close below it. So that's very, very, very difficult for this particular position here to survive, I guess. At the same time, I don't want to hold onto it like a madman. Like I don't want to marry this position at all by any means. The conditions are rough. I can tell. But yeah, until it's flowing, until I'm not stopped out, I'm still in the game here, and I'm still looking for that buy side or a deeper run on the buy side here. And that's it. If they take me out of the game today like this, I'll have to live with that too. And yeah, that will not be the worst, I believe. All right, so we went outside of this first presentation. So now I really don't want to see much resistance in the upper half. I would love to see candles being printed inside the upper half with the bodies and stuff. And that would be like a good sign for my trade. Otherwise, it's pretty hard to tell. All right, looks like this is the last chance for this to run for me for this position. Any lower low, I will get stopped out for sure. So this price run higher here needs to be sustained. Otherwise, I'm just done with this session, though. So yeah, I was just drinking my coconut water and thinking that life is good, God is good. So maybe I can get a second chance here. Maybe yes, maybe not. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty content / confident about my performance today. It will feel like a little bit of a shame that I couldn't secure this run a little bit better. But yeah, that's an area for improvement on my side, definitely. Unless it happens to offer me that deeper run on that shallow piers, which would, be what I was expecting or working with initially, but or without expecting, maybe not, that's a bad wording, but I just didn't want it to suffer a deeper retracement here, right? Obviously I didn't want it to suffer a deeper retracement like this. I was allowing for a return into the first presentation, yes, but I wanted to see it right away react higher, and all of this mess is kind of like not something I really wanted to see. But looks like I survived the initial struggle here. So if we can bulk up a run outside of this first presentation to the upside now, then it looks like this might be game on. At least there is a potential, so that's good. That's good. Potential is good. Everything starts with a potential. So let's see. I see 9 people watching right now, so I mean, I would love to ask you guys, how do you enjoy this endeavor, this series? Do you follow that whole thing? Do you think I will get it? Any ideas though? Is it even fun or worth watching every day? Hi Sonia. I mean, I remember you. I know. I'm a fan of you. It will go up. All right. When Sonia says it, then I'm pretty chill. All right, again facing this little area in here that I don't want to see being resisted. So First candle pierced into it, closed near the low. Second candle again showing a little bit of rejection. I don't like that though. I don't like that. I don't like that. I mean, I would consider closing this right away here after this rejection on one part. On the other hand, if I just want to let it go and have the room to deliver, maybe another attempt after another deeper retracement, but I don't think I will survive another one though with this stop loss here, unless it will be capped in the upper half of this strictly. But yeah, it's quite difficult to tell. Well. So this down close candle here at 11:25, this large down close candle, I really want to see it quickly go above it. Quickly go above this candle's high. Then I think it's good. Then I think I'm reasonably safe. Otherwise, this rejection here, I don't like that. I just don't like to see that, and it's just problematic. So let's see, price stopped at the consecutive encroachment dead on after it went outside of this first presentation. It formed a small little bearish fair value gap right here. So that's also something that I don't want to see this resist price. So this feels like a kind of like a make or break type of point, where if we could see like a quick smash right on through those two levels here on the upside, then it's game on, and definitely I'm looking for high prices. But any resistance, any undecisiveness around those areas here, that's where, or that's when it gets really difficult to tell or tricky to tell whether we'll go there right now versus a further deeper retracement first and maybe then delivery higher, right? So these are kind of like the thoughts at this moment. And the struggle of being or willing to close the position and have the position, right? That's kind of where I'm at this moment. I kind of want to close it, but at the same time I kind of want to have it on to see, to give it a chance to live and breathe. So yeah. Hold it. I mean, I do that for quite a bit so far. Well, I mean, I like this stop here at the consecutive encroachment. I like this bearish fair value gap not offering bearishness, and I like the fact that we are almost going above this down candle here. So if you can pierce slightly more, I like that. So We entered the 9:30, I mean 9:30, god damn it, 11:30. All right, I don't like that though. I don't like that though. Which is the lunch macro. Majority, initially we run lower, leaving a lot of clean buy side liquidity. Then we were slowly but surely working our way to the upside. And yeah, I mean, that's problematic. And there is some short-term sell side liquidity, yeah, probably below this low. That's most obvious. But I believe that the majority of the buy side liquidity is still, I mean, the majority, bigger liquidity pool, I feel like is on the upside. And the buy side liquidity is the way to go. The problem is just the way it delivers. Very sloppy, very not really precise or that precise. A little bit of unorganized, consolidated. Yeah, these are the issues that I'm having right now with it. But yeah, let's give it some more time. I hope not too much time, because yeah, it's already becoming a long session here, I feel like. All right, that looks very good. We've taken this short-term low here, and the price is already returning all the way up there. That's something that I love to see, and I would love to see it follow through that. This is a good signature here. All right. I mean, I literally feel like this is like kind of like the last chance that I want to give it to see it perform. It already traded to this inversion here once, twice, third time here. So any additional attempt should just smash right on through that. And if that's the case, we should see, or we should have no issues, no problems to run this high on a deeper basis, maybe up into the best case scenario up there. But that's obviously a little bit ambitious, seeing what we see already so far. This down close candle here that took sell side liquidity here, I would like to see it not be breached like it's being breached right now. So that's problematic here. Consecutive encroachment again touched. So yeah, let's see. I'm paying close attention here, but I really feel like we are running low on time. And this position already, I mean, initially it started really well. This run here, very nice. This run here, beautiful. But after that, it started being really ugly and poor. And I feel like that was reasonable for this type of day ahead of CPI. And yeah. Yeah, this is no bueno. This is no bueno here. Relatively lows taken, yes, but this low has the sell side and my stop loss is pretty much there, so tough call. Trade to the low of the first presentation. The body is not closing below it, so that's what I'm keying off of my attention right now. I don't want to see bodies closing outside of it. All right, we saw a close outside of it. I don't like to see that. I don't like to see that. The relatively lows taken. Low of the first presentation booked. Failed to take out this low so far. And offering some measure of a run higher. I don't want to say it looks promising because within all of this, that would be a lie, I suppose. But I'm still in, right? So I still could possibly see what happens. I like we closed right away on the first candle above this inversion here. This one took radical lows, so it's important. First close above that might be bullish. Now the question is whether we could see a measure of displacement to the upside. So far we trade to the low of this one, but the bodies are staying in the upper half, so that's fair. That's fair, but at the same time we have another pool of radical lows here. And that's where my stop loss is, and that's a little bit less. A little bit less constructive. So yeah, I mean, I'm just not. I'm trying not to overthink it, but it just it does look a little bit iffy here. I mean, not a little bit. It looks kind of iffy here. It looks kind of. It could maybe deliver. It could also not. It's kind of 50-50 at this moment. The only good thing about this is that I can't lose. I can't really lose. I will secure some profit whatever happens. So that's the only thing that keeps me inside this position. I mean, holding this. I feel like. Otherwise, that would be just a straight up close. Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks good and it kind of doesn't. It kind of looks iffy. So that these are all the signatures that are speaking for closing this right away and just not wasting any more time and energy for it. But at the same time, I still trust or believe that the bicep will be tapped today. It might just be happening later and or after a deeper retracement. We'll see, but all right. So yeah, nonetheless, it took me out here. Uh, in, instead of taking, let's say, 100 handles ish, I took 25 around. So yeah, the fact is now we've taken relatively low sell set here. And that could maybe be still something to watch, but regardless, I think feels a little bit yeah, 44 and a half. That's what I managed for today. Feels a little bit bitter, right? Because I could have secured a little bit more than that easily. I didn't for some other reason. Did I lost? Not really, but did I give away some of the profits or big portion of that? For sure. But yeah, that's I guess that's life. That's life as a trader. And yeah. No less. Thanks for watching, guys. It was a long one today. It was a pleasure. I'll be back tomorrow, nonetheless, and we'll see how I will do there. So thanks for watching and see you. Bye.